they really didn't understand what the word graffiti meant.
They didn't. The studio executives generally are not the most sophisticated people in the world. And you will find that if you go to Hollywood. I hope you don't, because you don't want to be oppressed by people who are not as smart as you are. And I'm dumb. And
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away,
So, ladies and gentlemen, I just heard this last night, and I watched the video that the Quartering put out for it. I'm sorry I missed this news, but it's rather big. I think we've got a pretty big news day coming up, actually. First off, Value Act Investments Capital is an activist investor in the same way that Nelson Peltz is. So they have actually upped their stake in Disney. They didn't disclose how much they put in for, and Disney did not respond either. But it got enough attention to get Fox Business News and other financial trade magazines to talk about it. Here's Robert Hale. He is one of the co-CEOs of Value Act Capital, and this is Mason Morfitt. He's the other CEO. Value Act Capital is, like I said, an activist investment group out of San Francisco, which kind of made me go, uh-oh. And they have something that bothers me. It sounds a bit like BlackRock, but I don't know what to think, because when I look at the companies there knee deep in the hoopla with like Halliburton, I don't really see them being chronically woke, if you know what I mean. I think that they basically say they go into a company and try to help get it stabilized, and then they leave, which is kind of like corporate rating, but what the heck. Here's the issue that I have with them. At the end of this statement, they talk about social, environmental, and ethical issues. And it's like, what are you talking about? That, to me, when you're talking about capital investment, you don't really worry about, people's pronouns and that kind of thing. But I don't know what that means. They might just have that on there to get people off their back. Okay, that I don't know. But we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on. I was worried at first that these people were brought in actually as Kennedy allies because of their location, which is in San Francisco. But when I realized that one of the co-CEOs, and I can't figure out which one, is a neighbor of Bob Iger's, I thought he's probably trying to shore his base up to save his job from Nelson Peltz, whose Trion Partners is now the biggest investor in the Walt Disney Company. And Peltz wants things fixed. The guy is not kidding. So let's take a break, because there's a lot more happening on the Disney side, and then we have a Sparrow update. So up next, Disney and Sparrow.
these are my kids. So
All those Star Wars films.
all the Star Wars films.
They were your kids.
Yeah, well, they are my, I loved them, I created them. I'm very intimately involved in them, and obviously to
And
sell
you
them
sold
off.
them.
I sold them to the white slavers that take these things and
Okay, but having said all that and having talked to you for the
So Bob Iger has a problem. People at Disney are again worried about their jobs. He did announce that there were going to be two billion more cuts, 2 billion in cuts coming, which is going to probably mostly come from the workforce. So the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, while I'm decorating and doing things, Bob Iger is going to be talking to an emergency town hall of Disney employees about what's going on at Disney. This is a BFD because these cuts, he didn't. Well, I listened to the whole earnings report, and I didn't really get the feeling that it was going to be bad. But apparently, Disney employees are terrified. Now, of course, certain YouTubers complain that he makes too much money. Bob Iger makes too much money. Guess what? Reality. He's going to make that money. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, that he is the CEO. CEOs make a lot of money. Okay, it's not fair, but life isn't fair. All right, and he has survived long enough at Disney to where, making that kind of money makes sense for him. Now, has he made good decisions? No. And I will soon mention some bad decisions he's made that you guys are all very much aware of. But still, he's a CEO, and, he doesn't, if you think that they like doing this, they don't. They really don't like cutting back labor. They don't like laying people off because it's a shitty thing, okay, to have to do, all right? And the fact of the matter is, Disney's up over 3% now from what they were on their shares. So it is going the right way. However, there's still room to improve, and to me, it looks like there's going to be a proxy fight coming, whether Iger wants it or not, from Nelson Peltz, because he has now got the biggest stake in Disney, and he wants results. He wants his dividends, and he wants seats on the board. And I think if Peltz gets his way, and to be honest, I think that he probably will, Iger might be out on the straight. And again, that's why when I see Value Act capital coming in, it makes me wonder if Iger didn't ask his neighbor, whichever one it was, Morfitt or Hale, if they'd like to come in and invest in Disney. They also could be coming in to help Peltz. Now, I was worried that they were actually being, wooed by angry studio heads like Kathleen Kennedy, but the moment I saw that Iger knows one of the CEOs, they live in the same neighborhood, I pretty much thought, okay, this is him. So that's my speculation, is that he's bringing them in to save his job from Peltz. Now let's talk about Lucasfilm. So apparently Sparrow got a hold of Cameron and said that there won't be really any movement on the emails until February, and they're giving Kennedy a timeline to announce her retirement, or they're going to do it. Okay, now I wouldn't wait. I would just do it. I mean, if I had access to those emails, I'd post them. I would just do it. Fuck her, I don't care, all right? But I'm way more ruthless than Bob Iger, and he's a pretty ruthless guy. But that's the thing, and so they're waiting for her to leave. So my suggestion to you guys is to get on Twitter X, or even go on Instagram, find Frank Marshall's Instagram, and start hounding him about getting his wife to leave. Okay, so here's the other announcement. Apparently, ABC Christmas Disney special is going to have quite a bit more Star Wars in it than we had seen previously, and it looks to being that they're going to probably make announcements of different things, different shows, and I think one movie, which is probably Filoni's movie and other shows. I wouldn't even doubt that we might even see Rangers of the New Republic. Because that, after the fact of the matter is that Sparrow said that Favreau did talk to Gina about everything, that I wouldn't doubt they announced something like that. So yeah, we're going to get to see them, and it's going to be very interesting. I am definitely going to watch it, and we'll just have to just kind of sit back and see what happens. Personally, I'm now looking forward to it. This was a good update between Value Act Capital and Iger's emergency town hall meeting with Disney employees, and then Sparrow giving us a time frame of when to expect the emails if they do drop. Now, if Kennedy leaves before then, we're not going to get the emails. All right, they're not going to do it. Even though, again, if I had my hands on them, I would still drop them. I would still drop them. I'm sure that if you stand in front of a mirror saying her name 3 times, she manifests. It's just the way she is. But so anyway, it's going to be very interesting going forward, you guys. And like I said, I think it's going to be a good Christmas season. And again, get on X and Instagram and say, hey, when is your wife leaving? When is she going to move along? All right, that's quite, because really she's not there, but her name is on the door still, and that is a bad. Those are bad optics. Okay, so just wanted you guys to hear all this. This was a good news dump, and I'll see you guys around the galaxy. Happy Thanksgiving.